appreciate he's at Celtic, a bit injury prone. That's never a good thing with a player, be a bit injury prone. But what a talent Rio Hatate is. But I'm just wondering, should we start with Rio Hatate tomorrow? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think he'll be ready, and throw him into a big game like that, big derby game like that on his first game back. I would leave him out. I would seriously leave him out, and maybe bring him on as a sub later if we're winning comfortably, I would say. I don't know, me personally, I would leave him out. What do you think? Do you think Rio Hatate should start? Been out for 2 months and straight into a big derby game? I don't think he should start. Even with how good a player he is, I don't think he should start. So the other concern for tomorrow is Carter Vickers, who went off injured against Dundee. Apparently, according to Brendan, he just felt a tightness in his hamstring, and he was taken off as a precaution, really. So, doesn't sound too bad. If he was taken off as a precaution, I'm sure he's went through the training for that to see if he's fit enough to play tomorrow. I personally think he will play. I certainly hope he will play. But apparently against Dundee, he wanted to play on, Carter Vickers. He's just felt a wee bit of tightness in his hamstring. I think it was his hamstring. I can't remember actually, but he felt a bit of tightness anyway, and he was taken off as a precaution. So, me personally, I'm hoping the big man plays tomorrow, him and Liam Scales. I think if them two play, I think we've got a chance to go on and win that game. So that's just my thoughts. I'm not saying we won't win it if somebody else plays. But who would you rather have in there if Carter Vickers doesn't play? It seems that Lagerbielke and Naroki have fallen short of getting a start in the Celtic team. It seems to be what's his name, young Welsh, that's getting the start ahead of those two. So I don't know, let me know in the comments what you think. Who should start if Carter Vickers is not starting? And should Rio Hatate start tomorrow? And like I says, me personally, I don't think he should. So looking at the game tomorrow, I'll start with the lineup for the game tomorrow. I'm on my own here obviously, so it's pretty hard. Try to do this on your own. It's not the same podcast with just one person. Anybody can tell that. But looking at the game tomorrow, I think the starting lineup is going to be Joe Hart, Carter Vickers, Liam Scales, Greg Taylor and Alistair Johnson. Well, let's all hope that big Carter Vickers is fit for that game, but that's my defensive. I think he'll be okay. Centre of the park, I don't think Rio Hatate is going to get a start. I think it's going to be Callum McGregor, Matt O'Reilly, and I think he's going to start with Bernardo again. Unless Iwata is fit. I don't know, but I think he's going to start with Bernardo. Not heard anything about Iwata if he's fit or not, so I don't know. But that's my centre of the park tomorrow. Callum McGregor, Matt O'Reilly and Bernardo. And up front it's going to be Kyogo. And this is going to be a dilemma here. Now, it's going to be Lewis Palmer. He's going to get a start because he's an on-form player. But where is he going to get played tomorrow? Is he going to get played on the right, do you think? And put Daisen Maeda on the left? Because we know Daisen Maeda, if he plays, he keeps Tavernier quiet. He gives him an absolute nightmare of a game. So I'm hoping that Daisen's going to play on the left tomorrow with Palmer on the right. Or it might be Mikey Johnson, I don't know. Mikey Johnson obviously scored 2 lovely goals at the weekend there. So we'll wait and see what happens there. I actually think it's going to be Daisen on the left and maybe put Lewis Palmer on the right. What do you guys think? Not sure on that, but it's a bit of a dilemma. But that's what my front three is going to be tomorrow. That's the one I would start with. It's Palmer on the right, Maeda on the left, Kyogo through the middle. I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's what I think might happen. Unless he just plays Daisen on the right and lets Lewis Palmer have a go at Tavernier. I don't know what the big concern is about this Tavernier guy. He can't defend. He's not bad going forward, and obviously he scored a barrel load of penalties, and I don't know. Let's wait and see what happens there tomorrow. But that's my starting lineup for the game. So in midweek, we comfortably beat Dundee 3-0. We had good performances from the whole back line. I thought performed fantastic. Callum McGregor played well. Bernardo and O'Reilly, they were okay. Up front, I thought Lewis Palmer was man of the match. Daizen Maeda had a very, very poor game. He hasn't played well since he came back. And Kyogo, I wouldn't say he was poor, just bad finishing from Kyogo as usual there. He's been off form when it comes to hitting the ball into the net. But obviously the Rangers had their game cancelled. Apparently a waterlogged pitch. So every other game in Scotland manages to go ahead, but the Rangers game gets postponed. What's that all about? Is their pitch not up to the weather in Scotland? You tell me a team like that, apparently the best team in Scotland, according to their guy, what's his name again, Silver. He thinks they're the best team in Scotland, but they can't afford to put a pitch down that can't handle a bit of water on it. The game gets postponed due to a waterlogged pitch, apparently. Cough, cough. Now, I don't know what's going on there, but something just stinks with that thing there. A waterlogged pitch, but every other game can go ahead. I don't think so. But that's what happened. We need to live with that. They've had all week to be rested up. Don't know what's going on there, but there you go, guys. What do you think of that? Game cancelled due to a waterlogged pitch. Or as somebody else said to me, it must have been a waterlogged penalty spot. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. That's something just stinks to me. I'm not buying that for a second, guys. What do you think? Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. So tomorrow, for me, it's a must-win game. If we win this game tomorrow, we go 8 points ahead, with the Rangers obviously having 2 games in hand. I think it is a must-win game. I don't think I'm not saying, sorry, that we'll lose the league if we lose that game tomorrow, but it is a must-win game. We had 4 games up till the winter break. Livingston, Dundee, the Rangers, and who's the other team? Keep forgetting that one, St Mirren. So me and Xander have both said if we win all those 4 games up until the winter break, I think we go on and win the league. And it is a must-win game for me. It's must-win 3 points. That's what we're looking for. And the nerves start to kick in a wee bit. All the pre-match nerves. Big game, 12:30 tomorrow. How are you guys feeling? Are the nerves starting to kick in? Are you confident? Are you looking at this game with a bit of trepidation? Me personally, I'm fairly confident. It just depends on the starting lineup tomorrow. I just hope that Rio Hatate doesn't start, because I don't think he's ready to come in after injury, 2 months out injured, into a big game like that. I think we need to start with a team that's already match fit. I think that goes without saying. We need to have a team out there that's match fit, and it's finding the strongest 11 out of all the players we've got. And Rio Hatate, I keep saying it and I'll say it again, he's our best player, best technical player. So comfortable and composed on the ball. You see a different Celtic when Rio Hatate's playing. But I don't think putting Rio into a big game like that's a good idea. I really, really don't. But I'm not the manager. Brendan will know if Rio's ready or not. So let's see what happens there. I personally think we should start with Bernardo, unless Iwata's fit. He's been out for a couple of weeks injured. I haven't heard anything about him. But for me, it would be Bernardo in the centre of the park beside O'Reilly and Callum McGregor. But what I really would like to know, if you could leave a comment, is how are you feeling about the game tomorrow? Are you confident? How confident are you? Is there any trepidation at all? I've got a wee bit of that going into this game. I've always got a wee bit of that going into all the derby games. A wee bit of trepidation, you just don't know. But the positive side is, it's a home game for Celtic. Celtic Park, 60,000 fans, over 60,000 fans. Even the away end's going to be full of Celtic fans. The Green Brigade are there. It's a big atmosphere. Will the Rangers players be able to cope with that? That's what you've got to ask yourself. It's very, very difficult. Big stadium like that, 60,000 screaming fans for 90 minutes. Rangers have had it very easy this season with all the penalties and red cards they've had. You know, playing all these teams, not giving 100% against them. They've had it easy. They're not going to have it easy tomorrow. It's Celtic, it's the champions. Okay, we haven't been in the best of form for the past month or so, but we are the champions. Celtic Park, over 60,000 fans. Let's see what happens when they show up there tomorrow. Or will the game be cancelled with a waterlogged pitch? What do you think of that? Will the Celtic game be cancelled with a waterlogged pitch? Because we've had a bit of drizzle. So, who knows? Who knows what the SFA will decide? They might send a couple of guys out to check the pitch. They might find it's too wet and cancel the game. We don't know. Let's see what happens there. Me personally, there's a wee bit of trepidation going into every derby game. But I've got a wee feeling of confidence as well. Because it is Celtic Park and it's going to be a full stadium. And it'll be bedlam in there tomorrow. So let's see how the Rangers cope with that. They're not playing against Livingston at home and 2 penalties and all that per game. This is Celtic they're playing in the hottest atmosphere in the UK. Celtic Park, 60,000 fans. Let's give them hell, boys. So let's touch on the score prediction for the derby game. Me personally, I think if Celtic show up, every player gives 100% in that atmosphere. I can't see anything other than a Celtic win. Alright, we haven't been on the best form for the last month or so, but we're just starting to get it together, I think. And if we all show up tomorrow, 100% from every player, red hot atmosphere, I'm looking at maybe a 2-0 victory for Celtic. That's my prediction. It's just a guess. Don't know what the score's going to be. It's just a guess, remember. 2-0 Celtic, I'm going to say. And let's hope that comes true, guys. So, moving swiftly on to the comments. I'm trying to get this podcast done as quickly as possible. Xander obviously still sick, so I've got to read out the comments and all that as well. I normally do read out the comments. But we'll start with Xander anyway, because Xander left a comment. He says, great pod on your own, John. Still feeling rough as a Badgers. See you all Friday. Well, it's Friday and Xander's still not back. He's still sick. So let's get Xander back to full strength and back on the podcast. Saves you having to listen to my boring voice all the time. So get well soon, Xander. Next comment was 2 pieces and Snarler. Excuse me. 2 pieces and Snarler. Now, if you're not from Scotland or Glasgow, 2 pieces and Snarler is 2 slices of bread with a sausage in it. So it's just a sausage sandwich really. That's what 2 pieces and Snarler is. 2 pieces and Snarler is not a double act like Cagney and Lacey, Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello. And then you've got 2 pieces and Snarler. It's 2 pieces and Snarler. Just had his guesses there. So, and he says, hail, hail, lads. Hail, hail, mate, and thanks for your comment. Next up was one club since 1888. Good to see you again, mate. He says, good job on your own, John. My efforts for first goal. And he got his comments in for his guesses, basically 5 guesses for the competition. I'm not going to read them out, of course. Next up was, we would never sell a club for £1. He's a regular on here. and won the last competition, of course, the 0-win in frame print. Great performance all round from Celtic and created many chances and could easily have scored 5 or 6, and the players showed great urgency throughout the game, and we need to bring that tempo into the Glasgow derby on Saturday. Exactly, that tempo needs to be high against them on Saturday. I think it will be, I don't really have any doubt about that. There will be a high tempo. It's going to be a really hot atmosphere there, so well, let's hope you're right anyway. We would never sell a club, and I hope you've received that 0-win in print. Paul McEwen says, hail hail, and left 1 guess for the competition. Come on, you've got more than 1 guess, Paul. Get another 4 in. You've got 5 guesses, and hail hail, mate. Just try to blast through these comments pretty quick here. Paul McComb, great pod, John, and get well soon. Xander, thanks very much for that, Paul. We would never sell a club. Excuse me, I'm starting to get a dry throat doing this. Shocking refereeing, and that's not the first time this season that Celtic were given decisions against them, and the SPL officials are corrupt to the core, and hope Xander gets better soon. Don't wait all, we would never sell a club. But touching on what he says about the officials, I says it in the last podcast when we played against Dundee. Dyson Maeda dragged to the ground near the halfway line in the Dundee half, in the Celtic half. He's dragged down to the ground by the shoulders, dragged right down, and then kneed in the head a few times. Kneed in the head, and then kicked in the shins or the calves a few times while he's down there as well, for good luck. And like I said in the last podcast, I think the player mistook Dyson's head for the ball. I don't know what's happened there, but the referees deemed that a free kick to Dundee. How can that possibly be a free kick to Dundee? You imagine you playing a game of football and somebody grabs you from behind and drags you to the floor, knees you in the head, boots you in the legs, and they get a free kick for it. What is that all about? Seriously, leave your comments in about that, guys. I would really like to hear what you think about that, because to me that was absolutely appalling. Giving Dundee a free kick for that. Let me know in the comments what you think of that, guys. But let's move away from that, and we'll quickly touch on the competition just before we go and close the podcast. The competition is obviously, what time will the first goal be scored in the Glasgow derby tomorrow? You've got 5 guesses, remember, 5, not 1, not 2, not 3 or 4. You've got 5 guesses. What time will the first goal be scored in the Glasgow derby tomorrow? An example, 5 minutes 25 seconds. That's just an example. We need your seconds, because if somebody says 5 minutes and you say 5 minutes, it becomes a tie. So it's to the nearest second. You don't have to be accurate with the seconds, just guess the seconds. And it's to the nearest second that wins the competition. And it's the Chris Sutton framed print. Look at him there. Big Chris Sutton, big legend. What a player he was. Scored lots of goals against the Rangers as well. Yeah, one of my Celtic favourites, big Chris Sutton. Remember him well. Him and Henrik Larsson, big John Hartson, Paul Lambert and all that. The great team, the great Martin O'Neill team. So there he is, big Chris Sutton there. That could be yours. So, just to close the podcast, the game tomorrow, we all hope Celtic's going to show up. I think we will show up. We don't need any passengers tomorrow. We need every single player at their best. Don't give them a second on the ball. High press them. Don't give them a second, especially Tavernier, because if you give him space, he'll exploit it. He puts in a decent cross and all that. He can't defend for toffee. So give him hell. Dyson Maeda might be the guy to mark him. And every time Dyson does mark him, you don't see Tavernier. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. He's marked out the game. If we do that, I think it's going to be a Celtic win. So let's hope. All our fingers, all crossed. I know we're all a wee bit nervous. It's pre-match. It's not long till kick-off now. It's I was going to say not far, but well, it's not far till kick-off. Tomorrow, 12:30. Glasgow derby, Celtic Park, 60,000 fans, all screaming for the hoops, every single one of them. Give them hell, boys. That's all I can say. Give them hell. And I'm not saying Rangers can show up there and just get thumped. They could show up there and easily win. Not easily win, but they could show up there and win. I'm just saying they could do that because Celtic did it at Ibrox with a depleted team, of course. Celtic went there with a depleted team, no fans, and Celtic won that game. So, what's to say Rangers can't? Me personally, I don't think they will. It's going to be a Celtic win. I think it's going to be 2-0 to Celtic. That's my guess. And that's my hope. That's my dream, of course. We all want a Celtic win tomorrow. That's all that matters. Get the 3 points in the bag. If we win that tomorrow and beat St Mirren before the winter break, I firmly believe the league is ours. So, good luck to Celtic tomorrow. Give them hell out there. 60,000 fans, everyone, you get behind the team. I don't know, just boo them off the park every time they touch the ball so they can't pass instructions to each other, they can't hear each other. Yep, give them hell, boys, that's all I can say. Good luck to Celtic tomorrow, and thanks to everybody who watches, likes, subscribes, leave a comment or whatever. Thanks to all you guys, and I can just ask you to do it again. Hit the like and subscribe button, leave a comment, all that stuff helps the channel. And of course, good luck to Celtic tomorrow. Hail hail to everybody listening. All the best to Xander. Hope he's back on his feet soon. And we'll speak to you tomorrow. Hail hail everybody.